Hey guys, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. Hope y'all doing well. I wanted to do a video tonight where I respond to a video that John Mangini did a couple of weeks ago, where he wants to know, how do we collect? And, you know, as you know, if you watch this channel, I am an unopened collector, first and foremost. I do have some cards in my collection that are scattered about, like any card collector does, but the centerpiece of my collection, beyond the stuff that I've gotten from my grandfather, you know, through the years, like, you know, a Nolan Ryan starting lineup, or, you know, things that are sentimental. Beyond that, the core of my collection is vintage unopened. And there are some guys with vintage unopened who they're only really interested in a pack if it has a Hall of Famer showing, right? So, okay, I have this 1978 Topps rack pack with Reggie Jackson on top. I have a 75 Topps rack with, you know, George Brett on top, whatever. And there's those types of collectors, that type of focus. That's all fine and good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. I honestly, with some exceptions, I love star packs. You know, I love having a pack with a Hall of Famer showing or a star player showing. That's great. But I care much more about the aesthetics of the card that is showing, like, for example, with the cello pack, right? A lot of the cello packs I've picked up recently. You've seen my 76 cello that I picked up from Baseball Card Exchange from their auction. Too common showing, but I really like the look of the card showing. 1977 Topps cello I picked up recently. Oscar Gamble showing on top. Good ball player, but certainly not a Hall of Famer, right? I like the look of the card on top. I truly don't care, you know, if a person's in the Hall of Fame or not. If a card that is showing is aesthetically pleasing, that is what matters to me, right? That is what matters to me. And I also think another way that I do collect, and this relates to the fact that sometimes I don't pursue star packs quite as aggressively as others do. I'll bid on them. You know, and again, I have packs with the Hall of Famer showing, right? But they're not the centerpiece of my collection. And another reason is because it's important, for me at least, from a financial standpoint, for my collection, to balance quality and quantity. And I would rather have, and John Mangini brought this up in his video when he said, you know, some people tell him he should trade all of his cards for two high-grade, you know, two high-grade cards, right? And just have two really kick-ass items in his collection. He brought up the point, he likes having an extensive collection, right? And I like having a decent quantity of unopened material. I like having, you know, packs I can look through. I could easily sell, you know, all the packs I have with common showing and buy a couple of really kick-ass, you know, rack packs or cello packs with Hall of Famer showing, but then I wouldn't have the quantity. And to me, the balancing quantity and quality, having some really nice items without Hall of Famer showing, I'll take having more of those any day of the week than having 2 or 3 packs in my collection that are absolutely amazing, right? And so that's really where I'm at with how I collect. And I appreciate John. Not everything he does on his channel is fantastic, but I really appreciated this topic. And I've thought about it for a little bit, and I wanted to do a response video. So, John, if you watch this, keep up the good content, buddy. Appreciate it. Hope to see you at the National. Hope you all have a great evening, and keep collecting vintage unopened baseball.